Our PHP scripts are getting more sophisticated as time goes on. We can now connect to the database and query and return data and serve it up to the user in the browser. However, the user themselves is rather left out in the cold at this point. So far there's been no user interactivity. That is to say that the user hasn't been able to have any control over what data is served back to them. In this chapter we're going to change that. We're going to look at ways to allow the user to input data which we're going to use to query the database using a simple search feature that we're going to write as a PHP script. We're also going to look at ways to deal with invalid input by the user, and we're going to look at how we can write to the database using our PHP scripts to update or add records to the data that already exists. We're also going to allow for the user to upload data to the server. Let's start out by writing the HTML page which is going to launch our little search engine that we haven't written yet. This is going to be a very standard HTML page. We're going to have a title, and we're using the Vinyl Dealers database as the example here. So our ostensible purpose of these pages is to allow the user to search for a particular record shop by inputting a name or part of the name, and then our PHP script is hopefully going to return a list of shops that match that criteria. So we're just going to have a simple header there and leave a line break, and then we're going to have a form. This is just an HTML form, and what this form is going to do is it's going to call results by name PHP, and this is what we're going to call the script that will contain our very simple search feature. And what that script is going to do is return the results that it's found from the input that the user is going to input on this HTML page. We also need to specify the method, and in this case we're going to say post. We could equally use get, and because we're dealing with such a small amount of data here, it's simply personal preference. Difference being that get will append the variables to the end of the page name here, and post will send them under a separate HTTP header. But it won't make very much difference at present. So here we're going to put some instructions for the user. Then a line break, and then we're going to use a little input box, and what this part here means is this is going to give a name by which the variable can be known to the script that we are going to call. Confusingly, it's the name of the record shop that we're going to search for. So we're calling the name element of this input box name, but the reason for that is that it's the name of the record shop that we're looking for, and it's going to be of type text. Another line break, and then down here we're going to need a button, so a submit button for the whole form, and we're going to write the word search on that button. And that's our form. Close the form tag, close the body tag, and close our HTML tag, and there's our page. Let's take a look at that in the browser. We'll have to save that, and let's save this as search by name HTML, because there's no PHP involved in this form itself. It's just going to call the PHP using the form. Let's have a quick look at that in the browser. So there's our search form, and we're going to be able to type in whatever record shop we're looking for here. We'll type in some text here and hit the search button. Now at the moment we haven't made our PHP script with the search feature in, so we can try and search, but it's not going to work. In our next movie we're going to make the PHP script, and hopefully we'll be able to allow the user to search for their favorite record shop.